What's up, guys? Today we're gonna go over the new summer banner featuring Tifa and Barret. This banner has a costume for Tifa and weapons for Tifa and Barret. So the star of this banner is obviously Tifa. Let's look at her costume. Costume's called Passion Mermaid. Looks great. It is a fire Arcanum. So automatically, just being an Arcanum means this is going to be a great costume. There are, I would say, every single Arcanum costume in this game has been good and is still good now. So yeah, great fire Arcanum. Nothing bad to say about this. Only good things to say about this. The second R ability she has is the new R ability for the summer costumes, Sun's Favor. This gives 5% HP and 15% physical defense. Good R ability, it's always going to be useful. HP is always useful, and most fights, physical defense is also useful. Most fights have, you will take some physical damage. So this costume is great. I mean, it's an Arcanum, right? But not only that, the second R ability is just a general purpose R ability, which means you can use this costume for both physical fire damage and magic fire damage. So her featured weapon is magic fire damage. So you'll mainly use this costume with her featured weapon, but you can also use her for physical fire damage. Tifa doesn't have a fire physical weapon, but she might get one in the future, and then you can just pair this costume with that. But also she does have her leather gloves does have a fire materia slot, so you could use Tifa with leather gloves and put a fire blow here with her fire Arcanum costume, and you'll do some good physical fire damage. It won't be great, but it'll be good, for some fights. Like sometimes there are fights where physical will be more preferable than magical damage, so you could do that. And if also her guide gloves is the same thing. Her guide gloves also has a fire materia slot, so you can same thing. You could put a fire blow here and do some okay fire physical damage with Tifa. So that's all I have to say about her costume. It's great, right? Fire Arcanum and general purpose R ability. It's going to be great for fire damage. Nothing bad to say about this costume. It's great. Now let's look at her weapon that's meant to be paired with her costume. Her weapon is called Shell Knuckles. We can look at OB10, but yeah. At OB10, this does 940 fire magic damage. That is insane. I don't think there's an elemental weapon that does less than 900. I mean, that does more than 940%. So automatically, that already makes this weapon amazing. But not only that, it also has a conditional buff. So when Tifa is 70% or more HP, she will deal 1.2 times more damage. So first of all, 940 is already the highest number, but it can go even higher when she's over 70% HP. So this is just the best fire magic damage dealing weapon, even the best elemental, damage dealing weapon in the game right now. So this just automatically makes this weapon amazing. Let's compare this weapon. So basically, let's compare Tifa. Let's compare Tifa to other fire magic damage dealers, because that is going to be the main reason you pull on this banner. Is you want a fire magic damage dealer. That is pretty much why you're pulling on this. I mean, other than maybe you like how it looks, of course, but I would say, yeah. So who is she competing with, or what is she competing with? Let's look at other fire magic damage dealers. Before Tifa, the best fire magic damage dealer in the game was Zac. So I say was because actually Tifa is now the best fire magic damage dealer in the game. But before her was Zac. So we can look at Zac's Stream Guard. It does 850 fire magic damage. So remember, Tifa does 970. So Tifa is already beating Zac in pure numbers. Zac also has actually the same conditional. It's when 70% or more HP, it does 1.2 times more damage. So this ties with Tifa, but again, Tifa beats Zac in just raw numbers. And not only that, but Zac's Stream Guard is a limited weapon. It means right now you can't wishlist it, you can't pull it anymore. So if you didn't pull it before, you can't pull it right now. So that, that's a disadvantage to Stream Guard. It means you can't overboost yours if you do have one. But Tifa's weapon is not limited, so you can pull it on any banner you want. I mean, going forward in the future, as well as right now. So Zac has been dethroned. Tifa is now the best fire magic damage dealer compared to Zac. But I will say, if you have Zac's Stream Guard at OB6, it is strong enough for most content in this game. So if you already have, if you have Zac's at OB6, I would say you don't need Tifa's weapon, even though Tifa's weapon is stronger. It's not that much stronger. Okay, and then let's look at the other fire magic damage dealer in this game. That would be Aerith. And Aerith's Egg Staff does 630% fire magic damage. AoE, so that is an advantage to Egg Staff because Tifa and Zac's are single target, but Egg Staff is AoE, so that's good. And Aerith's Egg Staff also has a conditional damage buff, which is if she is fighting a single target, then she will deal 1.3 times more damage. So I don't know the math, but higher damage. Okay, so I think around 800. So Egg Staff, just like Zac, Aerith, just like Zac, is quite strong in dealing fire magic damage. It's only 630 compared to Tifa, which does 970, and Zac does 850. But even though this number is lower, well, the conditional is higher, 1.3 instead of 1.2, and then also Egg Staff is, the conditional is easier to reach in many fights, not all fights, but in a lot of fights it's easier to hit a single target than to stay above 70% HP. But also this has more utility in that it can hit AoE, while Tifa and Zac's are only single target. And just like Zac, I would say if you have Aerith's Egg Staff, actually for Wolf is a little different. So for Aerith, it doesn't actually matter what OB you have her Egg Staff at, because Aerith's Egg Staff is not limited. So even if you don't have one, even if you have an OB01, you can just wishlist it. You can pull it in the future. You can eventually get it to OB10. So I would say if you have Aerith's, actually it's not the Egg Staff that's important, it's her costume. So when the Egg Staff was released, Aerith also came with a Fire Arcanum for Aerith. So if you have Aerith's Fire Arcanum, then I would say you don't need Tifa. Okay, so those are the two main competitors to Tifa. Let's remember, it's if you have Zac's Stream Guard at OB6, you don't need Aerith. You don't need Tifa. If you have Aerith's Fire Arcanum, then you don't need Tifa. And then there's one more that is a contender, but not really. I mean, it's close. It's hard, debatable. Sorry, it's debatable. That would be Lucia is the last fire magic damage dealer we can talk about. Lucia has Rose Musket, and Rose Musket does 620. So the lowest of the 4 fire magic damage dealers, right? Tifa does 970, Zac does 850, Aerith does 630, and then Lucia is at the very bottom with 620. Yeah, but it's still serviceable. I mean, it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Like, you can use this to clear content that requires fire magic damage. So it's not bad. And Lucia's Rose Musket also has a conditional effect. So when she is over 50% HP, decrease the magic defense of the enemy. So I would say this is it's the worst conditional of the four fire magic damage dealers, because magic defense down is it's good, but it's not it's not hard to get. I mean, you can get magic defense down from your other characters or other weapons. So yeah, it's not hard to get. That's basically it. So that's why Lucia is the worst one, right? Because she has the lowest multiplier, 620%, and then she has the worst conditional effect. And not only that, but Lucia also has an outfit, but it is not an Arcanum. So if you pulled Lucia's, she has a bunny outfit, then that gives plus 15% fire damage. So it's not an Arcanum. Arcanums give plus 35%. So Lucia has the weaker Arcanum, and the weaker costume, and she also has the weaker weapon. But like I'm saying, but it's still good. I mean, she's still good, or she's still good enough. I would say she's still good enough. So to summarize, Tifa, her fire Arcanum, she is the best right now. She's the best. So, should you pull on her? That would depend on what do you need. Do you need the best, or are you happy enough with Zac? I would say Zac is pretty close to Tifa. It's not that different. Are you happy with Aerith? Again, I would be very happy with Aerith. I don't have Aerith, so and I don't have. You can see my weapons. My Stream Guard is only 4-star. My Egg Staff is only 4-star, but also I don't even have Aerith's Fire Arcanum costume. And then my Lucia's weapon is only 5-star, and I don't have her bunny costume. So it depends on what you have. So if you have one of those, it's up to you. Do you think you need a stronger fire magic damage dealer? For me, I would say no. I would be happy with Zac. I would be happy with Aerith. Lucia is very debatable though. So for Lucia, then it's really up to you. It's close. Yeah. So again, Tifa is the best one, so that's good. But if you don't have any of these, right? If you don't have Aerith's Fire Arcanum, you don't have Zac, Stream Guard, and you don't have Lucia's bunny costume, then Tifa is a solid pull. But there is one last thing I want to discuss about pulling for Tifa's Fire Arcanum, and that would be about Tifa herself. So Tifa has 2 other costumes actually that can help her magic setups. So she has her Kirin suit, which it's a lightning Arcanum, so lightning it's not going to affect your fire damage, but it also comes with boost magic ability potency, 10 points, and 10 points gives you about 15% extra damage. Magic ability potency, sorry, not damage. Or if you're near max, it gives you about 10%. So 10 to 15% extra, magic ability potency. 10 to 15% is obviously lower than 35%, but it's still something, is my point. So this is like a budget Tifa fire build. So what I'm saying is, you could use, if you have Tifa's Kirin suit, you could just use that with Tifa's new fire weapon, and it won't be as strong, but it'll still be strong, is my point. So you could just do that. And then not only Tifa's Karen suit, but Tifa, I said she has 2 outfits. So she has, I don't have it, but she also has her bunny costume. If you have Tifa's bunny costume, that gives boost magic ability potency, and then it gives water arcanum. So the same, you don't care about the water arcanum, but it will give you boost magic ability potency, which, you know, in my opinion, that's good enough. Okay, so then let's go back and summarize. Should you pull for Tifa's new outfit, right? So the summary was, pull for this if you want a strong fire magic damage character. And I already told you there are 4 fire magic damage characters she's competing with. That would be Zack with his Stream Saber, Aerith with her Fire Arcanum. Who's the third one? Lucia? Oh, there's 3, sorry. Zack's, Aerith, and then Lucia with her bunny outfit. And then Tifa is not only competing with those 3, she's also competing with herself, right? If you have her lightning arcanum, or if you have her water arcanum, those will help her fire magic damage build as well. So those are budget options, because I'm reviewing this banner more from a budget free-to-play player perspective, because I'm a free-to-play player. You can see I don't have any red crystals. I haven't bought any, and I've got a good amount of blue crystals. So I'm saving. I don't pull on every banner, because being free to play means you can't afford to pull on every single banner. So yeah, and it has paid off sometimes. Like the last time I pulled was on the Monster Hunter banner. I spent more than 70,000 crystals, but I was able to get I think it was well worth it, because I was able to get this an OB6 Komura one, and this has been really great for clearing content. So I think it was worth it. So sometimes you do need to skip banners to save for a better banner. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Tifa, right? So it depends on you. How much do you want a strong or stronger fire magic damage dealer? But really, you can't go wrong with this, because, like I said, Tifa is the best. She is the best fire magic damage dealer, and not only that, but she will do amazing damage against non-fire enemies. Like even if the enemy is not weak to fire, as long as they are neutral, Tifa will do a lot of damage as well to those enemies. So you really can't go wrong with this. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Tifa. And then the last thing to talk about is this banner also has a weapon for Barret, so haven't forgotten about Barret. But you only really pull for costumes, not for weapons. But let's look at Barret's weapon anyways. So Barret's weapon is Shark Slayer. It is a support weapon. So let's look. What does it do? 3 ATB only. It kills diamond sigils. So that alone is already, even if we don't read anything else, that alone already makes this a pretty good weapon. Because there are some fights where you want to kill the diamond sigils. Okay, but then what else does it do? It also does fire resist down and water resist down. So that already it was a good weapon, and now this is an amazing weapon, because elemental resist downs, those are the strongest debuffs you can have in this game to increase your damage. And there are a lot of weapons that do fire resist down in this game, and there are a lot of weapons that do water resist down in this game, but none of those weapons are Barret weapons. So this weapon is great because it's a Barret weapon, which means if you want to use fire resist down, if you want to use water resist down, and you want to use Barret, then this is the only weapon that will let you do it. And then you might ask, why would you want to use Barret? Well, I actually think Barret's a great character, mainly for these 2 weapons here. So if you want to use Barret, you might want to use Barret for his Electro Cannon, which is an amazing weapon. This does AoE, physical attack, and magic attack down. Mid potency to all enemies. This is just amazing to keep your team alive. But not only that, you can also use Barret's Micro Laser, which increases magic attack for one ally. And that alone makes this a great weapon, because there are not that many weapons in this game that increase magic attack. So that's great. But not only that, it has a cure all materia slot. So you can use Barret as your healer, right? You can main hand Micro Laser, put a cure materia here, so you can AoE heal, and at the same time you would use his new weapon. So he would be AoE healing, he would be buffing magic attack, and also he could decrease fire resist or water resist. You can think, I mean, technically that pairs perfectly with Fire Tifa, right? Because he can buff Tifa's magic attack, he can decrease the enemy's fire resist, and he will act as a healer. So yeah, perfect. And the R abilities are also, I would say, perfect, because boost HP, just all make you tanky, that's great, but this is really great. Buff, debuff, extension, increase the duration of buffs or debuffs, so that means when you decrease fire resist, it'll last longer, or, you know, like I said with Micro Laser, when you increase magic attack on your teammates, it'll last longer. So perfect R abilities, high utility, and Barret. I say this is a great weapon, and what's good about this weapon is even at OB0, it's still good, because you don't really care about the numbers too much. You just need the utility, and the utility is all there at OB0. So you only need one copy, which is why I recommend. I don't recommend, but I recommend you consider that even if you do pull for Tifa, that you consider placing Barret on stamp 6, because one copy of Shark Slayer is going to be more useful than one copy of Shell Knuckles. But obviously that depends on how good your Barret is, right? If you don't use Barret, or you don't have any good Barret weapons, then Shark Slayer is not that good. So it really depends on your account, but just something to consider. Yeah, okay, so those are my thoughts on the banner, and the last thing to share with you is, am I pulling on this banner? So right now I'm undecided, but I am leaning towards no. Basically because I'm a free-to-play player, so I need to save for better banners. And why do I say that? Well, let's go back to what I said. Like, for fire magic damage dealers, let's look at what I have. Do I have something that I can use? So actually the answer is no, so you might be surprised, but let's see. So you see I have a 4-star Stream Guard, so I can't use Zac as my fire damage dealer. I can pull Egg Staff, but the problem with Egg Staff is I did not pull for Aerith's Fire Arcanum, so it wouldn't be too strong. And same with Lucia. I do not have Lucia's bunny costume. So the final answer is, you might have guessed it, but the final answer is, why might I not pull? It's because I have this. Because I have Kieran's suit, which, like I said, it's not as strong, but it will still give Tifa plus 10 magic ability potency. So I can just use Kieran's suit with her new fire weapon, and I'd say that's good enough for me. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking I will not pull. But why am I undecided? Because Tifa is my second favorite character in the game, so I would like, and I think the costume looks great, so I would like it, and also I've been using Barret a lot, so it would be nice to have a copy of his Shark Slayer. I mean, I have a pretty good Barret. Let me show you. His weapons, like I have an OB1 electro cannon that I leveled to 110, and I have an OB6 micro laser. So I do have a really nice Barret, and I also have his costume, this is his best costume, the electrical armor costume, boost HP, and this is just stacked. 4 stats in 1 R ability, plus physical attack, plus magic attack, plus physical defense, plus magic defense. So I have his best costume, I have his best weapons. So that is one, small reason why I would like to pull. But yeah, and then I showed you I don't have a good fire magic damage user, so yeah. But right now I'm undecided, and I'll take time to think about it, because you can see this banner ends on August 1st, so there is a lot of time. You don't need to pull now if there's a lot of time to think about it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching. Bye.